Welcome to the updated deck profile of Fortress Burn. My name is Halfa and I finally managed to win an IDC tournament with this deck. I'm just so happy that Fortress finally won after testing it for 1 or 2 years. So this is my list from IDC 17 and I'm pretty confident with this list. Would be really sad if I wouldn't be confident after testing it for so long. So yeah, I will try to explain everything as good as possible. If you have questions, please let me know in the comments. My intention is that more people are trying Fortress Burn, because as matters now stand, I am the only one who's playing Fortress Burn tournaments, except for Hymne in one tournament. So first, I think no list is perfect, but this list is the path I found. I would be happy if there would be more people, and maybe you will find another way for Fortress. I saw a lot of different lists over the years, like Light, Fire, Nature, Turbo Burn from Experiment, or 5 Sith Mana Burn from Solomon, Rücketard, Tade, or Life for Life, or some Grub Mana Burn versions from Nasos, etc. There were a lot. So enough talking, let's finally start with the deck profile. First of all, of course, the 4 Fortress shells. You need a whole playset because you want to see as much as possible and just spam them into the battle zone. It's also your main finisher. You will start attacking when you know there can't be a combination of cards where you will lose. I just break shield safely and it doesn't matter if I win this turn or next turn. Yeah, just slowly but steady. And that's why I kick Cryptic, and Cryptic is also a massive brick. Then of course the Mighty Soul Swap. Broken card, everyone knows what this card can do. Defense 100%, offense 100%. In this deck you can call it either another 4 copies of Fortress, or if you are going against Russian aggro, another 4 copies of Sky Sword. So yeah, what pairs best with Soul Swap? Of course, Bronzom Tribe, best turn 3 play in the whole game. Winning Lost Soul Race or curving into Sky Sword or into Juliana plus Spiral Gate is just insane. Turn 3 Butt, turn 4 Sky Sword, turn 5 Lost Soul might be the best strategy to win against control decks. And 1 Fighter Dual Fang, in my opinion this is a must-have in Fortress Burn versions without fire. It's the only card that can crash into Wallet Elsonius. And other than that, it curves right into Fortress Shell, and you can also switch the tempo and go into the shields if you have a decent board. For Sky Swords, yeah, we already talked about it a bit. Everyone knows how crazy this card is. Perfect effect, perfect races. Getting a mana is always sweet, and getting a shield is absolutely necessary if you want to win against Rush. So yeah, just a crazy card. So moving on to the Light Sith. First we have for Faliga. This is an interesting card. This might be the best card in the whole deck, to be honest. It gets stronger and stronger the longer the game lasts, and 50 cards control is going to play for a while. So this card can do everything, just everything. Every spell is so good. Getting swapped to Mana Burn again, getting Plague or Holy Awe if you need to control the field, getting Clamp against control, Memory or Stream for grind games, or Spiral Gate for sheep removal or sheep recycle. Yeah, he can do everything, just everything. My favorite target is Soul Swap, of course, just to burn 2 mana again. And yeah, next we have for Julianas, to survive Russian aggro. This card is pretty solid. Can't be targeted is a nice effect, and it stops most of the early aggro cards. And to be honest, against Rush, it's also almost impossible to win without Juliana. You would need at least, 3 trigger to survive the early game if you don't see Juliana. Also, 3 car is enough to run over a lot of cards. That's really sweet if you have Holy Awe. 2 Belix for recycling spells. Strong card. I'm a huge fan of charging Plague in early games to unlock the Siths. and recycling it in the late game with Belix. Yeah. And last but not least, the one-off Holy Ore. Damn, I really love this card. This card has multiple tasks. First, it's the only way to out Petrova. Your opponent could just sit on the Petrova and you could do nothing. Absolutely necessary in my opinion, as Petrova aggro strategies also pair with a lot of +1 cards like Bronzam Tribe, Hulkos, Magris, Loco, and without the mass removal from fire, those +1 cards are incredibly annoying. Second, it has a psychological effect, plus it's the best mass removal you can get if you don't play fire. Yeah, sometimes Plague is better, sometimes Holy Ore is better. You can recycle it with Fal and use it multiple times, which is necessary in some matchups. It's searchable with Memory, or you can be lucky to get it into shields with Sky Sword, or recycle it with Belix. Man, so many tasks this card has. So good. I really love it. Still, I think it's fine as a one-off because of the crazy draw power you have, and especially the recycling you have with Belix and Fal. And also, it is a nice bonus that it increases the trigger count. Now, moving on to the Darkness and Water faction. Yeah, you already see the two plagues. Mana burning while controlling the field is always good. I tested 3 plagues, but you already run a lot of very expensive cards. Yeah, you have 4 Fortress, 2 Plague, 2 Lost Soul, are already 8 cards with 7 mana or more. And yeah, again, recycled cards can just spam Plague. Very strong card. Clears 2 creatures while being a secondary mana burn card. There are matchups where you will never play this card, for example, against Phobos, because you don't want him to recycle Fal of Phobos, and yeah, against some aggro decks like Rug or Lightwater Nature Tribal aggro, you just want to spam it to keep the opponent's field as small as possible. Next, to Lost Soul. Yeah, bro, you know it's Lost Soul. There's nothing I could say that you don't know already, so yeah, that's it, to Lost Soul. 4 Terra Pits are mandatory, strong removal and shield trigger. It's just a strong staple that you need to run 4 copies of. Then we have 2 Corpse Charger. This is an interesting one. I decided to run Corpse instead of Morbid Medicine, because sometimes you need the ramp and you don't run a lot of creatures in this deck, so Morbid often only got back 1 creature, and yeah, I know Fal and Morbid is a strong combo, but you can't abuse it to the fullest potential, so it's not that sweet in this deck like in, yeah, you know, Phobos or Ruby Meltdown decks. Also, Corpse plus Belix is a sweet combo against Rush, and yeah, you are glad if you could play anti-Rush strategies, so yeah, I'm glad that I have access to this strategy. And last but not least, 2 Cranium Clamps. I decided to run Clamp instead of Loco, because Loco is only better if it comes out of the shields, and although you have problems with Rush, you really can't adjust the Rush matchup without destroying the original idea of this deck. So with the help of Clamp, you have a very strong matchup against Control. It's just a strong card, yeah. Not as strong as back in the days when this game was called Clamp Masters, but still so good against Control. And again, Fal can abuse this card too. Next, the Water Sieve, starting with 2 Memories. I love this card, really. I really love this card in this deck. It has shield triggers, so you can search for Sky Sword or Juliana against Russian aggro. You can just check your whole deck to know what you have in shields. You can search for your Fighter Dual Fang or Holy Ore one-offs, or just take the big guys like Fortress, Lost Soul or Soul Swap. And sometimes even Clamp is a nice target if you know you will probably lose Lost Soul Race. And next we have 4 energy streams for the grind games. I play Stream instead of Aqua Hulkus because you don't want to draw because you want to draw a lot of cards and the body isn't that good. With Aqua Hulkus in turn 3, you will still lose against Rush anyway, so it doesn't do anything, and it only costs 3 mana, so in late game, when you draw into Lost Soul or Soul Swap, you can activate them also in the same turn. That's just a power play to, I don't know, play Stream and draw into Fall and Swap, and immediately play Swap to Mana Burn again. So yeah, next turn you have also Fall to again Mana Burn 2. So yeah, Energy Stream is just a solid, good staple card. And the last cards are 4 copies of Spiral Gates. In early versions of this deck I played Miraculous Snare instead of Spiral Gate, but Spiral Gate is like 10 times better, no joke. It's cheap removal, it's a shield trigger, it can also recycle Fall of Fortress, for example. You can bounce back Faliga if you have 10 mana, play Faliga again, get back Soul Swap, play Soul Swap on Fall to get another Fortress Shell. Yeah, you know, strong, cheap and versatile card that doesn't fucks up your mana after playing Butt of Skysword. Yeah. There were a lot of cards I tested in the past years. Most noticeable were the following cards. Sosa Headshark to have a mass removal or to recycle Skysword. In the end, I dropped this card. Because it's too expensive to let you survive Rush. Same goes with Vampire Sylphie. I tested Upheaval as it is an instant win button in certain situations. I still think this card is strong, but it was often just a win more card. Same as Aqua Deformer. In theory, Aqua Deformer mana burns 2 while recycling 2 cards, but in reality, you charge this card 99% of the time, and then it sits there for the rest of the game. I played Miraculous Snare, but it was kicked because Spiral Gates were better. Ice Vapor, but he wasn't really helpful. Aqua Surfer to survive Rush, but it was too expensive. Locomotiva as a hybrid against Russian control, but both ways he didn't do enough work. Bloom Urkus and Cryptic as finishers, but they are obsolete because you will win anyways if the opponent is low on mana, and they are also massive bricks, so yeah. Emerald and Ghastly Drain to have access to Snail Creatures or to set up Holy Ore, but yeah, those cards are also bricks most of the time. You want to play cards that are versatile or that overwhelm your opponent, and yeah, I tested way more. Essence Elf, Logic Cube, D-Gate, Candle and Skeeto, Hide and Seek, Ghost Touch, Hopeless Vortex, Morbid Medicine, Colon, Trash Crawler, Gajira Boot, Techno Totem, Magnus, Aqua Skydiver, Mana Nexus, Terrorhorn, Mithrias, and so on. Yeah. Heck, I even tried Gatling, Skyterror, and Exorius as potential swap targets to control the field. Yeah, there were a lot. All in all, I can say this deck is crazy. It has a very strong matchup against control, but bad matchup against Rush. But I'm not as afraid as when I played against Rush with early versions. For Juliana, for Pit, for Spiral Gate, and the Mighty Soul Swap Skysword combination are doing a good job. But you need to see them, sometimes your hand consists of multiple 7 mana or higher cards. This can happen with every deck, but yeah, it's easier with this deck, Also, almost everything in this deck interacts with each other, and you have multiple small synergies, and that makes the difference at the end of the day. Yeah, I just love to play this deck. You have so much paths you can go in a game, and every duel is just different. Yeah, sometimes you need to weigh if you want to play a bit risky to have maybe a huge payoff later, or if you want to play it slowly, you need to weigh the next move. Yeah, sometimes discarding is better, sometimes mana burning is better. And yeah, it's overall it's just a skillful deck, and that's what brings joy to me. So in conclusion, I want to give a shout out to Darksigner and Hymne. Those two got, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 different lists in the past 2 years, and tested infinite hours with me and helped me to revolutionize the idea of mana burn. And also thanks to all IDC participants helping me to adjust the deck, especially guys like Solomon or Toxic Sam that destroyed me multiple times with Financial Rush. I would be really happy if we see more guys trying out Fortress Burn in the future IDC, and maybe you will find an even better way for mana burn strategies. Thanks that you watched this video, and if you have questions, just drop a comment down below. We would love to discuss with you, and if you want to participate in IDC, just contact me on Discord, Halfa hashtag 6969. So yeah, that wrapped it up. See you guys.